1, 2, 3. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed.
Gosh, Elvira, I'm sorry. Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
How's your head?
I haven't had any complaints yet.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back. If you're coming back, if it's your first time, cute.
This could be a first time for some people because we got Elvira,
Yes.
Mistress of the Dark.
Ow.
What started all of our loves for titties and the goth scene.
All things
I don't know.
macabre.
There you go. So it's just us tonight. It's me, Nicole.
Excuse me, I took a sip. And me, Tessa.
And we are here on the 35th anniversary of the premiere of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yes, September 30th, 1988.
So I was just about to turn 9.
Yeah.
And you were about 7.
Yeah, I didn't see this.
So I didn't see it in the theater or
No.
anything, but I'm sure I saw it as soon as it was on cable.
Like Madonna, Elvira has always been. Like Dolly Parton.
Oh, yeah.
Like Madonna, like all of those things. Elvira has always existed in my memory.
Totally.
There is not a time. I do not remember a time.
No, not really.
Without
Because
Elvira.
before this, she was on was it Movie Macabre?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you just saw like late night TV, your parents watching, and you saw her stretched out on that couch.
Oh, yeah. Like she would do, you would go, didn't she do like beer cutouts?
Yes.
There
I
was
feel
beer,
like there
you
was
go
a
to the
beer
liquor store and
campaign.
there was
Yes.
like a beer campaign where she was like one of the cutouts.
Just dropped my chair while she was talking. And I was like, woo.
Down she went. But yeah, I mean, there's never been a time that I wasn't aware of Elvira.
So before we get fully into the movie, I have one quick shout out. Got another new patron. I want to thank Bearded Amoeba
Welcome.
for joining our Patreon.
Welcome. Oh, hello.
And if you want to join our Patreon and hear your name shouted out on the episode, patreon.com/Doom Generation.
Do it.
That's not all you get. Go look. There are lots of things.
Go look.
I keep the
It's all
Doom biz
kinds
at
of
the
shit.
end now. I'm trying
Yeah,
not to spend too
yeah.
much time on this.
Quick.
Because
It's quick.
gotta
We
talk.
welcome the patron. We welcome the patron. We welcome. All are welcome.
But I know he wants to hear about Cassandra Peterson, a.k.a. Elvira, just
Yes.
as much as he wants to hear his name shouted out.
Yes. As we all do.
And so did you see the little tidbit about she was the youngest showgirl in Las Vegas history
I
at
was
17?
going to mention that she learned the tassel
The
trick.
titties?
She wanted to learn it, and they were like, we can't put tassels on a 14-year-old. She was 14. And so she had her mom make her a bra
with the tassels.
much like the end of this movie, and that's how she learned how to do the tassels. That's why she's so fucking good at it.
Wow.
Because she had been doing it since she was 14.
And I feel like I always assumed when I was younger that was faked somehow. Those were like motorized tassels or something. But
Them's
that's
them titties.
skills.
Because we couldn't, remember?
Yeah, we
couldn't
tried.
do that. We could not.
But we
could
were
not-
also doing it outside of a shirt where your titties aren't free.
That's where your titties
Her titties
aren't
were a little.
free.
Her titties were a little more
I
free.
hate it when my titties aren't free.
Me too,
Free
girl.
the titties.
Free 'em.
Free them. Let them out. Let them run around.
And then she met Elvis,
Oh, really?
and he like gave her advice, which led her to pursue acting and singing instead of just being a showgirl.
That's excellent. I mean, I'm glad that he did that instead of taking her home.
I was just about to say, I believe there may be a story.
Oh.
That Elvira may still. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to Google it. You're gonna have to fill for me.
I know,
real
we
quick
don't have
because
a-
I'm pretty sure that we have no research assistant tonight.
No. So, okay. Well, you look for that, and I'll talk about some of the other people that are in this movie.
Elvira on her life-changing
Oh, no, there you
night
go.
with Elvis at
Really?
17.
Oh, she's only 17.
17. Okay. Scroll. Oh, it's long. Okay.
Juicy.
Where's the Elvis part? Oh, here's the 14 years old part. Vegas,
Okay. Yeah,
17. Okay, she was a showgirl. Okay. He came to see Viva Las Girls at the Dunes Hotel in 1969 or 70. He invited all of the showgirls back to his room, which was the entire top floor of the International Hotel. There was a big party. He was so famous, he couldn't go out anywhere. He just had in-house entertainment.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Since I was the youngest of the showgirls, he instantly glommed on to me.
Of course. We all heard them stories.
I think he liked him young, judging by Priscilla, right? He was divorcing her at the time. And everyone wonders what happened between him and me, but you have to remember I was underage, so nothing did go on except some kissing.
Okay.
So she got to make out with Elvis. Not back then it was got to, now you're like, oh,
now it's like well,
he
she
was already
also
divorcing
working as
his teenage wife.
She was also working as a showgirl.
She grew up different than even us.
It was a different time then.
We're old, we're Gen X millennial.
I know.
She's full on boomer.
Oh yeah.
And she's I never did you look up
No,
the
I never
wokeness
did
quote?
look up and saw
So IMDb has a
about.
quote from her that she does have a script ready to do like a Elvira Mistress of the Dark 2, but that the people are too woke
all
now
too
for it. But we couldn't find where did IMDb get this quote
right
from.
where anybody got that information.
So
but
I
we
don't know
also
if that's
didn't look
true.
too hard to look for it. But I also you have to remember
The generation
like, these people
is.
they're like old people now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It could be kind of disappointing, but judging on this, I can't imagine what it is that we can't handle.
Right,
now,
it's
that
just
what jokes that
campy, goofy.
Yeah, it's just
it's
fun.
like sex jokes, but like
Yeah,
people
but it's
still
all
make
fun.
sex jokes.
True.
Didn't they just make a movie where like Jennifer Lawrence gets hired by some parents to bang their teenage son or something?
What? No, I haven't.
I
heard
mean,
of
I
that.
think he's in college, but I think there's a movie. I might be wrong, but based on the previews alone, it seemed like the movie was they hired this girl to get their son out of his shell.
See, these things still happen. It's
So yeah,
fine.
they're still making these fucking
It's
movies,
fine.
Elvira. Come on,
It's fine.
Just give it to us.
right.
Because
that's
I tell you what,
the point of this story is.
Yes.
We want it. Please give it to us.
because
we
I
can
tell
take
you
it.
what, 2002's Haunted Hills was
Yes.
not it.
Yes.
I don't know who helped you with this. I don't know how both
Uh-oh.
you and Richard O'Brien together.
Right.
Richard O'Brien, and he was goofy as fuck. I was like, what is this movie? It could have been funny, but it was like, I
Maybe
don't
you're
know.
not
It
gonna
didn't
tag
know
her
what
in
it
this
was.
after all.
Didn't know what it was. All right, so let's get into the cast, which really is, I mean
it's
Cassandra
just-
Peterson is Elvira.
Right.
Edie
Daniel-
McClurg
Oh well, yeah. She's
as
in there.
Chastity Pariah, and then
Chastity Pariah.
I know the name. And most of the other adults in this were groundlings with Elvira.
Yes. John Paragon. What's her name? Susan Kellerman.
Yes, as who was Patty.
Patty. Right. Oh, I didn't write out like who all was
I
in it, but Jeff
wrote out a
Conaway
couple
was
of the
in it.
yeah. Jeff Conaway was in there as one of the goons.
Daniel Greene was Bob Redding, who
And
was
I don't know
named
if-
after Robert Redding, who was
like her best friend who helped her create the
right,
character and the
helped
look.
create the look
Yeah.
of Elvira, and he passed away shortly before the movie came out or the movie was filmed. The movie's dedicated to him.
Yeah, he died during the AIDS epidemic.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like her very best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty much nobody in this have you seen in anything else except for maybe Edie McClurg, who we've already mentioned,
Right.
and William Morgan Shepherd, the guy who plays Vincent Talbot, was in a ton of things.
Oh yeah,
the great
it
uncle,
was supposed to be
Vincent Price.
Yeah, but he thought it was too racy.
Which, I mean, he didn't ever really do too much racy stuff.
Not
so-
racy stuff. Like
he
he
did
did comedy things.
comedy,
like, it was like
scary
horror comedy
things, but-
yeah, but like not really racy.
You never really see her titties.
No, I
That's
don't
the
really
thing
think
about
it's
Elvira.
Really tame.
Is you
It's
don't
really tame.
Yeah, it is.
It's calm
It's
down.
just
I
goofy.
was like, I asked my kid if he wanted to watch it with me. I was like, I had to watch like the last 15 minutes of this movie. You want to watch it with me? And he was like, what is this? I'm like, that's Elvira.
Oh, parenting fail.
I
I'm just
know.
kidding.
I know. Well, I mean, when's that come up? I don't know. Did I just now reach the Elvira stage in
Maybe
his
he's
development?
10, 11. So
He's
yeah,
about to be 11. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's at the Elvira
he's
stage
at
of his
Elvira
development.
age for sure.
So yeah, he can look at this. He can look at it.
Yeah. Well, and my kids are either not interested or they don't want to look at titties in front of their mom.
Well, they're just not interested because we think it's cool.
That's possible.
That's the problem.
There is stuff they like that we think is cool, but they don't realize it. The things like where they're like, how do you know this?
Right.
And you're like, excuse me.
Don't you fucking tell me about that shit. I know all about
you
this
cite
shit.
the old magic
I
to
was
me.
there when it was written, witch.
So anyway. Oh, wait. We should mention real quick, even though that's not that movie.
What?
That because this is coming up, that we are going to co-host The Witches watch along commentary with creator VC / In Search of Darkness on YouTube coming up on my birthday.
Yes.
October 15th.
That's
so if you are
right.
listening to this before October 15th, 2023, on that date, I think it's at 12:30
And if
Pacific.
not, hello, future people.
Right? It's at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time on YouTube Creator VC channel. If you need, we'll be posting to socials once we get the link. But so we'll be hosting a little. We're doing the witches.
Yeah, the witches.
So it'll be a thing where
and
there's
we
a little
went and
live
saw
chat.
her. We'll get to talk about that shit. That'll be fun.
We saw it hosted by Angelica Houston. So we got them stories.
I'm so excited. We got a good one.
So yeah, another witchy woman. Well, like I said, when she sent the list and it was like October 15th, the witches. I'm like, well, it's a sign. It's my birthday and it's the witches.
Exactly. Come on now.
Gotta have it.
Perfection.
So anyway, let's get into this.
Let's do this
movie.
Let's do it. So we have this UFO landing and tentacles and you're ugly and
so yeah, this is basically the show that she really did.
right, which was
Of her watching
Elvira's
old black and white
movie
B
Macabre.
horror movies.
and she would live react. This is
This is pre MST3K.
Yes.
She was I don't know if she was the originator, but if she is for me. I don't remember anyone pre Elvira who did this.
No, because all those things I feel like to me reminded me of Elvira. Like the up all night party.
Yeah,
and all
totally.
that stuff was like so Elvira to me.
Totally. So yeah, so she signs off with yours cruelly, Elvira.
Unpleasant dreams.
The gal with the enormous ratings. Next week it's the head with two things. I mean the thing with two heads.
Yes.
It's me, Elvira, the gal who put the boob back in boob tube, saying unpleasant dreams.
And
She had so many.
The weather map comes down.
Yeah, hits her
she
on
had
the
all
head.
She had all the lines.
And this issue with the female anchor woman was based on a real lady that she had a beef with.
Right, and this is Tress MacNeille. Do you recognize that
name? Is super familiar. Who's
The
that?
Simpsons.
Oh.
She did all like Miss Krabappel.
And didn't she do an Elvira character, like a mock,
I
a
feel
parody?
like she did.
I think she did.
I feel like she did. But yeah, she passed away,
Mm.
I believe, a few years ago.
I'm not
But
aware.
anyway, that's her. But she's based on a real experience that she had with a weather.
Yeah. It wouldn't
Or
surprise
report.
me if she had this entire
Oh, I'm sure.
exchange to
it
some
wouldn't.
degree in real life.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, the weather lady has no, or the anchor woman has no
whatever.
respect for her because doesn't
She's a
anything shame
nympho.
you? Yeah, wearing this in public might do it.
Yeah.
She has the best.
I
Elvira
know.
always has the
That's
best
why I was
comebacks.
struggling with these stupid notes
Because there's
like,
so many
it's
quips.
all the dialogue. It's all the quips.
I know. So Rudy, the station manager, comes in to introduce the new station owner. And
The lard bucket and the 10-gallon hat.
yes, ladies back home call me Longhorn. Anything to do with your breath?
Yeah.
And so he's been told by the station manager that she's a nympho and she'll fuck him basically
Yeah,
to
the
keep
sooner
her
I
show.
get in the saddle, the better. She's like, no,
No.
fire me.
I need
don't
this
give a
job
fuck.
like a leopard needs a three-way mirror. I gotta act in Vegas.
Does he say it's milking
He
time?
says, try your act out on me. It's milking time. And
That's
tries to grab her titties. And she
disgusting.
fucking does what she should and steps on his feet.
Absolutely. Spiking the foot.
Yes. And
She
he
don't take this
crashes
shit
into the
from
desk.
Nobody.
You said she was a nympho. Ugh.
Ugh. Gross.
So she's back there. She's ready to go. She's ready to head
Yep.
to Vegas. And her manager's like,
But the Flamingo wants
$50,000.
$50,000.
Yeah.
$50,000.
And while she's freaking out because she don't have that money, a telegram comes.
of course.
From the estate of Miss Morgana Talbot.
Oh.
Her great aunt she didn't know she had.
Right. Like timing or what?
Yeah. She's got an inheritance. And then she has this whole, she imagines herself like she's on The Price of Right winning the showcase.
I was like, oh, the prices for
a sailboat, a jeep, a dining room
a
set,
brand new car,
and money.
Yes, lots of money.
So she thinks, okay, I'm set. Like, that's fine. I'll go to this
Call
place.
the Flamingo up.
Yep.
We're doing it.
Let him know I'm coming.
Yep.
So she gets in her black fucking convertible.
This car, they bought it for $2,500.
And we saw this car.
We did.
At, I don't even know the name of the place. It was a candy
shop.
store.
It was the candy shop. Gonna make your panties drop.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So we were there at this candy store in LA, which I don't think is there anymore. They had Elvira's car.
It was like a little mini museum.
They had a giant Stay Puft
that where you bought the
Marshmallow Man
shirt?
head.
Or was that at Creepsville?
Creepsville, I think that was that store. Like,
Yeah.
no, at the store. And yeah, the car is fucking badass. And they spent more fixing it up than she did buying it.
7,000 alterations.
And she was always like, this car's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like,
it
it's great for photo ops,
Right,
but
but
this
it
car does
doesn't-
not run
That's
well.
why it was just in that museum. Like,
And so
that's why
she
it just-
auctioned off pieces of it. The
Right,
steering
right.
wheel, the license plates, which the license plate, one is kick-ass and the other's too
Too
macabre.
macabre,
So,
right.
which you can't have.
No.
That's illegal.
You can't. Well,
It's
she probably could. I would
illegal.
want that grill.
Yeah, the
That
spider web.
grip. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. They had the whole thing set up. There was like a skeleton in the trunk, a little graveyard thing.
Yeah.
It was cool. What else
It was
did they
cool.
have? They had a bunch
There
of her
was other
shit.
stuff. RuPaul's dresses or something,
Oh,
right? Was
no, that was at
it? I feel like there
DragCon.
was no, but I feel like we saw something RuPaul there though.
They had
something
Oh no,
RuPaul
they
there.
did.
I think we
They
might have seen him
did.
there before we even saw him at DragCon.
I think you might be right.
It was a smaller selection.
It was a small. You know what? You're right.
And then they had weird, and then
It
they
was
had
a
all
bunch
these
of
like
shit.
European candies, and it was a cool
Right.
candy
I
store.
got
But it
me
was
a
like,
violet
how
crumble. It was good.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
you can
love
get those
that.
at the
Love
local
me a
grocery
violet
store
crumble.
now.
That's right.
Stater Brothers in
I
the
gotta go
checkout
get
line.
Me one.
Gotta get
Oh,
one.
get me one. I love it.
So she gets in her black convertible and
Yes.
journeys to Falwell, Pennsylvania. Is
Which
that what it was?
I don't know. Or Massachusetts.
Or Massachusetts, which is
and
named,
it's named
after
Jerry Falwell.
Of course. And she picks up this creepy hitchhiker and like assaults him.
Right.
He's
forgot
all
your
scared.
axe.
Throws it at him. Once bitten, twice shy. It's playing in the background. And like these scenes, like this gas station attendant, these are the scenes that live in my head
I know.
rent free. Where like him picking his nose, this nasty fucking gas station.
And that's
attendant.
Jambi.
Yes. And then she's titties on the windshield.
Put him on the glass. Put him on the glass.
And when she goes to leave, she tells him those cigarettes will kill him.
Right. And that mutant, of course, he's like smoking right next to the thing, and he
And the
blows
whole
up.
gas station explodes as she drives off.
Of course, it's all cool.
And then her dropping that mustard slathered hot dog in her titty. Like, so
I know.
I was 9
I
or
know.
10. These things have been in my brain forever.
I mean, like it.
Well, and I've watched this a lot of times.
Well, that's also true. But like just the image of Elvira, period. Like that I was saying in the beginning, like just the image of her and them titties.
Since you were a very wee tot.
It's always been there. I
Yep.
want that wig. I'm gonna get me one.
She didn't, and she had problems with the way the wig looked in this because it wasn't to her best friend's standards.
Oh.
Like basically the look that they created with this
wasn't
fell a
quite
little
right.
short. Yeah. And
Well,
her
does it
wigs
covers-
and dresses are all
yeah.
designed to cover her burn scars.
Yeah, the wig covers on like the back of her neck.
And I think
her
the back of her
shoulders or
legs
something.
is why the dresses
in the
are
back.
cut long in the back but super short in the front.
Well, she
or
says
why,
it only shows her good bits.
and she always wears pantyhose.
well,
I think.
she's what, 72?
She's old.
But she looked
good.
She looked real good.
She almost looks good. Somehow, she almost looks better now than she did in 2002 in Haunted Hills. Because in Haunted Hills, you
Oh.
were starting to see her age.
Oh.
You were starting to see that makeup was pancaked on.
I see.
But
I
now,
see.
I feel like she looks better somehow.
Well, she's as Cassandra Peterson as herself. Like as
That's
she,
true, too. She's beautiful.
Right. When you have that much makeup on, like it,
You gotta. I mean, it's
everybody
Elvira.
would look like that with that much fucking makeup
True.
on.
So she drops that mustard hot dog in her
Yes,
titties. She
yes.
pulls up next to the Amish people who are all
Yes.
nice. They're all waving. Like,
And
okay.
She finally arrives in Massachusetts, and that's finally the end of the credits.
Yes, and this is her car overheats. The hood
Yep.
flies off as she rolls in, and this line when Chastity Pariah comes up, well, I never, and you never will with them soup cans on your head. Anytime anyone ever in my life has said, well, I never, which isn't super often, but I'm white.
A lot.
So it happens enough. I've replied and you never will with them soup cans on your head. And I would say 50% of the time I get a reaction, and the other half they're like, what?
They're leaving the beauty shop.
Yes.
It's their coiffure day.
She's got her curlers in.
Yes.
And she tells her, you don't even fit in this town. You don't even fit in that dress.
Yes.
If I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you.
Yeah. Bop, bop, bop.
So she needs a garage to fix her car, and the teenage boys in town,
oh, they're ready to help.
they scramble all over her damn hood.
Oh, I know. Just to
try to get her car to push it.
And what was that thing? Brad Pitt?
Oh, right. That Brad Pitt auditioned to be one of these boys.
And she was like, no, he's too cute. I wouldn't go after Bob if that was
she
one
wrote
of the boys
Yum
in
Yum
town.
next to his name in the casting thing.
And then he went on to buy her house?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to know that Brad Pitt banged Elvira.
I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed.
She's like 20 years older than him. But
good for him. I mean, he'd be so lucky.
That's what I'm saying. It would be lucky
bench
for you.
sniffer. He sniffed all them seats in that
You know
house
he
after
did.
he bought it.
He went through there like, can I find titty impressions on any of these
Can
mirrors?
I sniff all the surfaces?
He sprayed down with that glow stuff to see if there was secretions.
He had a black light looking for jizz. I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. So they push her car over to the hotel, and she goes to try to find a room at the Cozy Cot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's this elderly couple that takes care of their granddaughter.
Right.
And the man's like, yeah, we got a room. And the lady's like, no rooms available.
She's like, well, what says vacancies? She was all
flips it off.
No vacancies.
And their granddaughter Robin comes down wearing, I couldn't even tell she was wearing makeup.
No.
And the grandma's immediately like,
whore.
Yeah. Cash up front.
Right.
I know what you pinko heavy metal weirdos do to hotel rooms.
Yeah, she's gonna trash her hotel room. She's on tour through town with White Snake.
And Haunted Hills is kind of the same plot, only it's in the 1800s.
Weird.
She's got a big show in Paris where she's gonna do like Moulin Rouge, basically.
Of course.
And she's trying to get there and can't get there and gets caught up in some other situation. Only there's no inheritance. That's the only difference. So she talks to the girl about nuns and orphanages. She mentions that the nuns didn't like her wearing makeup, which you find out later why.
Oh my God, that baby with the makeup on. It's
more makeup than adult Elvira wears.
Baby's eyes are like,
what have you done to me?
I feel like the baby could see it somehow.
Right? So she asked this teenager about any fun in town, and she recommends the bowling alley.
Yeah, I guess. And so now the ne'er-do-wells.
We're at Patty's Tidy Bowl.
Patty's Tidy Bowl.
And I forgot to write it down, but a bunch of the businesses have pun names.
Well, this is all the backlot at Universal, I guess.
I think it's Warner Brothers.
Or
backlot at Warner.
There you go.
Because I was going to ask Patrick if it was.
Oh, and it's not.
If it was Universal, and I don't think it was.
Not.
It was
yeah,
Warner.
no, you're probably right. It said something. It had a street name.
Yeah.
But they do. They all have a little name.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't remember what it is.
So she comes in and asks Miss Yvonne from Pee-wee's Playhouse for a Bloody Mary.
That's right.
That's her only
ew.
scene, I think, is just right here.
She's like, gross.
And she's like, you want a virgin? We can't do hard liquor after 8 p.m. in this town.
That's right.
And she's like, before a virgin, I need some drinks first.
That's right.
So the goons come over. They got something to show her.
Of course.
But she left her magnifying glass at home. I said that to every dude who ever fucking tried to say some shit about his dick. I was like, I forgot my magnifying glass. Only I used to say, which probably came from something else.
The tweezers?
Yes. I left my magnifying glass and tweezers at home.
Hackers?
Maybe.
I feel like we talked about this.
Possibly.
If anybody could tell us what it is we talked about, that would be cool.
We don't have a research assistant to remind us of our own brains.
We're just doing shit.
He's like, how about a blow job?
Come on. So she pours them beers out.
Right in their crotches.
Yep. So I cut you, man.
She rolls her little belt dagger.
I cut you, man.
And it's fake. She's like,
right. So
we need to get those.
I know.
We should have belt daggers.
Need that.
Come on
I
now.
want a switchblade comb. I know you got one. Mm-hmm. Or your husband has one.
Yeah.
I need one of those.
Gotta
I think
get
it's
one.
fun.
It is. Something about that sound.
Yeah, I like the sound. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I like the sound.
So she's getting manhandled, and suddenly the dude at the register, who is Bob,
Here comes Bob to beat him down.
and she introduces herself. And Patty calls her a cheap tart. What's that perfume you're wearing? Catch of the day.
Yeah, Seaport.
And she almost puts her eyes out with her pointy titties. Patty has pointy titties.
Patty's
Elvira's
pointy-
are always round.
Yes. Patty's pointy titties.
So Bob takes her out, takes her
Right.
outside, and she gets told she's got some competition, Patty. And she's like,
Oh.
trash does not compete with class.
With class.
Blah.
Whatever, Patty.
So she talks to Bob a little bit,
He admired her Aunt Morgana.
admired her spunk.
Yes. The Morality Council hates fun.
He tells her he runs the movie house, but he can only play G-rated movies.
Right. It's
Nothing wrong with those as long as there's lots of sex and violence.
yes, that's what it is. Only G ratings. Yeah. What? Oh, she waits for the kiss.
Right,
Right,
and she
and
puckers up for this kiss, and he just gets in his
nope,
truck and leaves.
he leaves.
He's shy.
So at the will reading, they wait for Elvira, and she's like, she comes in late. Like,
Yes. Sorry
all
I'm
these
late,
old
but so's
people.
my aunt.
Yeah.
She has so many jokes. The jokes never stop.
They never ever stop. It's like, get on with it.
She meets Uncle Vinnie,
Right. And all these other
Auntie M, and Uncle Remus. Yes. It's the help.
It's like her maid and the driver.
So the maid gets the silver tea service in 5K. The driver gets the car in 5K.
Yeah.
Elvira gets the house and the poodle Algonquin and her precious book of recipes. And she's like,
Oh.
and Vinnie gets the rest of her estates and holdings, of which there is none.
Yeah, of which there is none. Sorry. So later on, once he's gone, spoiler alert.
He already had an estate.
Oh,
so that
okay.
wasn't anything he inherited from her. He was already rich. He didn't want any money from her. He just wanted
he
that
just
recipe
wanted the
book.
That's right.
So the goons who work for Vincent, he's telling them immediately, like, look, I need this recipe book. It has more power than you can ever imagine.
Right, I need that shit.
And so they roll up on Elvira on the street, and he offers her a ride.
Yes.
And she thinks someone's, like,
I know.
soliciting her.
The women keep finding her in these moments that are like...
Chastity Pariah is always finding her in some awkward situation where it
Yes.
seems like she's a slut, which
And
I'm
she's-
sure she is, but she's not in this movie.
Well,
she only sleeps with one dude, maybe, which is Bob.
And it's not even that she's a slut.
She just
owning
dresses
her
like
own
that.
sexuality.
If I had
It's fine.
titties like that,
I mean, if that's what my body look like,
that's what I'm saying.
'Cause it don't.
No, it don't.
That's why I don't dress like that.
No, I don't.
I would if it looked good, but if I did,
Right?
you would scream.
I mean, yeah, she duct tapes them babies up,
That's
but
fine.
like,
She pulls it up from her ankles. Isn't that what she said? She pulls all the skin up from her ankles so she can have them titties.
she doesn't even.
She
she's
might
like an
now
A
at
cup,
72.
really. So yeah, so she's like, "Oh, I don't want this recipe book. Like, I'll give it to you for $50."
Right. So cool. Come over tomorrow. Pick it up.
So the lawyer brings her to this house, and she thinks it's the house across
yeah.
the street. So she's like, "Oh, all right,
Yeah,
this is
that's
pretty
fine,
nice,
whatever." And it's like, no, it's that one.
the dark, spooky one."
Of course, but it's cool though.
I
It's
know,
like way cool.
I would want to.
I want that house.
And I'm not quite sure why it was entirely so in disrepair if Morgana lived there right up until she died.
Right.
Why was it all spiderwebby and dusty and shit?
well, because she's old.
But like, she had some money. She had at least $10K in the bank that
That's
she left to
true.
the
She had
help.
a butler and
I know the butler and the maid could, or
They
the
were
driver
old as
and the
fuck,
maid.
too.
That's true. She
They
can't
were
pick up
old
a
as fuck,
feather
too.
duster
Come
though.
on now.
Feather dusters are light. Come on now.
Well, that's true. Get a feather duster in there, bitch. You ain't dying.
And so while she's looking at the house, Vincent comes out of the bank and gets stopped by Chastity Pariah.
Yes.
To thank him for his donation to the Morality Club. And she
gross.
went, "Oh, I heard that's your niece.
Oh, yes, but
She won't be here long."
no, she's not going to be here. Like, don't worry about it. She won't be here long.
So Algonquin has just been unattended and uncared for in this house since the aunt died, apparently.
Yeah, the poor dog.
I know.
This little poodle. This little precious boy.
Yes.
Precious.
And she says if her aunt wasn't dead, she'd kill her, and a board comes up and smacks her in the butt.
Right
She's
in the
like,
face. Like, oh
"Sorry."
shit, sorry.
So she gets the recipe book, and the lawyer tells her, you could probably get $70,000 for this house.
Sure. Like, would you sell it? And
She's like,
does a
yeah.
chicken have a pecker?
Yes. And then we get doggy makeover time.
Right, of course. She gives him a makeover and she renames him Gonk.
And she gives him the punk. So
Yes.
like, hey, we did SLC punk. Now we got there's
this.
our connection.
We have mohawks in the last one, mohawks in this one.
And he doesn't seem to like the new look, but I guess he likes the name Gonk. He gets all
like Algonquin.
I know.
Come on now, Algonquin.
And so Uncle Vinnie shows up for this book, but Gonk sees him coming and hides this
it,
book under
right.
the couch cushions.
Right, and she tries to sell him the house, but he's like, no, just the book.
The book!
The book!
And she can't find it,
Right,
so he
so
gets
it's got to be around here
in a
somewhere.
bunch.
Right. And Gonk obviously hates him.
Yes.
And he thinks he's like a pit bull.
Yes, he sure does. He has some personality issues.
Right. And Elvira, she leaves and she settles in for the night.
And before we get to the next scene, it is actually a good time to take a break.
I think so.
We'll be right back.
Settle in.
Am I supposed to do that?
Hey, you guys!
Guess what we got for you?
Ooh, it's a surprise.
Discounts.
Ooh, get there now.
8bitzombie.com. I'm telling you, I got some shirts from there. I got some stickers from there. This is good quality shiz.
Yes, else we wouldn't be telling you about it right now.
He throws in some little extras, like some cool trading cards, like Mr. T, Jurassic Park, stuff like that.
Before he even knew.
Yes,
She
that was just,
was.
I found them online. I ordered some shirts because I couldn't find a Chainsaw and Dave shirt anywhere else.
No.
Or a cartoon Beetlejuice shirt anywhere else.
No, and that Bebop shirt, I want it.
So 8, BITZOMBIE.com, code DOOM, DOOM, for 10% off. Get over there now.
Today. Nicole,
Tessa,
guess what?
what?
The Anchor ad is gone.
I forgot to tell you something.
Well, you're always forgetting stuff.
Anchor turned into Spotify for podcasters.
Oh, what? So
Yeah.
they changed it.
Yeah, but all they changed was the name.
Oh, thank goodness.
You can still create, edit, and distribute your podcast from the phone or the computer.
Wait a minute, though. Is this still free?
It is still free.
Ah,
And
yes.
you can make money on Spotify
What?
for podcasters.
No way. They're actually going to pay you for this?
They'll give you an ad. You can get subscriptions to your podcast.
Other
Oh.
people will pay you too?
Can you believe that we get paid to do this?
That's silly.
And if you want to see how easy it is and make some money on the side, go to spotify.com/podcasters.
You should do it. We're doing it. You do it. Everyone should do it.
Tell them Doom Generation sent you.
Yes.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Yes, and Elvira has settled in for the night.
And these teen boys come lurking at the window.
Come to her window.
Well, she's in there, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most drop dead gorgeous of them all?
And that very tiny little spot that she wiped off.
Yes, and they snap her photo with the flash on.
Come on, Loretta. Loretta.
Which one of those boys is named Loretta? And she comes to the window and they scream because she got her
she
green
pops
face
up
mask
with that
on.
And then she closes the window
But
on their
still,
hand.
did you know full eye makeup and lipstick with that green face mask? That is like tattooed on.
It was there when she was a baby. It's there now.
True.
She was born this way.
And yeah, she slams their hand in the windows and they all fall. But they got the photo.
Yes, we got it though.
And she falls asleep all, at
With
first
the
it's all with the
hair.
hair all spread around her. And here's her aunt's voice calling to her. Elvira. Up the spiral staircase with a candle, wind blowing her garments around. And she goes to a door and is spooked by an old woman.
No!
And she wakes up in her tissue paper hat.
Yes, she's got her hair wrapped in toilet paper.
her bouffant,
Yes.
and her Elvis t-shirt.
Up.
Reference. Now you know why. Which is a much more reasonable way to sleep than how she was previously splayed out on the bed.
Absolutely. It looks like my tattoo with the hair.
Yes.
Yes.
So the next morning, the neighborhood boys arrive ready to help her paint the house.
Right.
And they start charging the other neighborhood boys to help because she's out there in her
She's out
tight
there
pants.
with her pants all bent over. Putting them on the glass. You know how she do. She's
Just
like, grab a
grab
hammer
tool
and start banging.
And the girls also show up to help because they're just as
Right.
repressed as the boys.
Of course.
If
they
you don't
love her
want to
too.
bang Elvira, you want to be Elvira.
Of course. And maybe some of them want to bang Elvira too.
That's also possible. I both want to bang and be Elvira.
It's a double whammy.
So the Robin's parents come drag her off
Of
when they
course,
see
by
her
her
helping.
ear.
Yes. And by the time they're done, the house is like 8 colors, and they're like, but she loves it.
I love it.
So the town council has a meeting about Elvira.
Of course.
And now the students are subject to expulsion.
Her clothes wouldn't keep a titmouse dry in a drizzle.
And so, yeah, now if the kids hang out with her, they're going to be in
'cause
trouble.
the teacher found that titty pic in the bathroom because they were all sharing it because, of course, they were.
She's a floozy. She's a person of easy virtue, a purveyor of pulchritude, a one-woman Sodom and Gomorrah. And so they decide if she doesn't
Hot.
sell the house, they're going to do everything they can to get rid of her.
But why wouldn't someone just buy the house then? If
Right.
they want her gone so bad,
Yes,
it's not
you're
like she
the-
wants to fucking be there.
One of you guys got $50K.
Right?
If you
Get
just said,
it together on the board, whatever the fuck, give her munties.
yes, and
Give
get rid
her
of
a little
her.
extra.
She wants
She'll
to go.
leave. She'll leave right
Yeah,
now.
this made no sense.
No,
like,
it
just
really
give
doesn't.
her the money.
They're like, we're gonna fucking harass her instead because we're the morality crew.
And so Harold, the real estate guy from the
Oh.
council, ugh.
This fucking guy, he loves you. I love you.
So,
I've
yeah,
learned.
He
Oh,
puts the
Willow.
moves on her. Of course, my dog's all scratching herself because I let her in the room. I don't know if you could hear her.
Well,
Her,
she's
her
just
collar
she's
jangling.
just trying to be pod dog.
Lay down, pot dog.
She'll find a spot.
What are you doing?
She's just being pod dog. See,
Gonk.
Gonk. Algonquin.
So yeah, so the real estate guy's putting the moves on her, and she kicks him out on his ass.
He's looking for that easy seller.
And no one comes to her open house.
Nope.
And then Manny calls because the flamingo's breathing down his neck.
Right. And she's like, well, there's a little problem with the munties. Like, I'm not going to be able to get it right away, but soon.
We have the job hunting montage.
Yes. She can't get a job.
And the lady's telephone rumor mill is like one step ahead of her.
Yep.
We got this sad jazz happening. What a town without pity can do. So yeah, Vincent's goons are looking through her house for the book, and they find her edible panties.
Right?
And he's just eating them.
I know, because he's hungry.
The point is to eat them off the lady, not to
It
just
doesn't
have
matter.
them as
It's a snack. He's hungry.
But Gonk shapeshifts his shadow into a Rottweiler and scares him off.
Of course.
And Vincent is not happy.
No.
So he sends him to the courthouse to look for town ordinances.
Yes, he needs to find all of those old laws. And
Elvira's out looking for a job, and she almost walks under Bob's ladder.
that's right. He's at the matinee, and she goes around the ladder, but he drops.
The marquee letter right on her head.
Oh, no. How's your head?
Haven't had any complaints yet.
Oh, no.
Excuse me?
Yeah. What is
I think I'll live.
yeah, I think I'll live.
And that was RuPaul uses that to
All the
test
time.
how, and not
Oh,
just how
yeah.
intelligent, but how much old pop culture knowledge
Like,
do you
what do you
have?
know
Like,
if
how
you
are
know
you
how
going
to
to answer
answer to
how's
that?
your head?
Who was it? Miss Fame? That, like, didn't.
She was like,
Not
fine.
It's like,
Like,
fine.
I feel okay.
I'm okay.
So, yeah. And then they have this whole, so now
she says there's no extra E in matinee. She's in the pictures, babe. So she
I
gets up there.
think I know how to spell matinee, which no, you don't, Elvira. It has
Apparently,
2 E's.
it's got 2 E's. So she goes up there to take the other E down, and while she's doing it, she loses her balance and it like slams against it. And as Chastity Pariah is coming out of there, it looks like how to fuck.
Yes.
Something
And
like
she like
wild
faints.
adventure, how to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good.
And then Patty sees Elvira fall into Bob's arms, kissing
yes.
him, thanking for catching her, and she's like, "Ah!"
Oh no, Patty's a fucking jealous bitch.
And Elvira has an idea to make him money. She's got classic
Right.
films in her trunk.
In the trunk of her car.
What are the? We need an Elvira. Give
Right?
us the. You want to do a movie
Elvira,
night?
do you have pictures still in the trunk of your car? Could you bring them? Can we do?
We will happily have a B-movie
Oh,
night.
fuck yeah. I'll get them titties out. I mean, like, not
out.
not out, but
We'll-
like, you know what I mean.
We'll get that.
I'll look like a potato, but I'll do it.
A potato and titties. Patitties.
I'll be patitties.
Patties.
Patties. Petit tots.
And Vincent sees all this from his office across the street.
Of course. And he goes down to his secret lair.
Yes, his
He's down
secret
there
bookcase
doing
elevator.
Warlock shit. His Batman elevator with his warlock
Yes.
shit down there. He puts on his vestments.
Doing his spells.
He's like, when the moon is drained of all that fly.
something lunar eclipse a week away.
Yeah, oh no. He who holds the book of sight when the moon is drained of all its light will be the be the owner of the night, master of the dark. What?
He wants to be
I
the
think I
master
missed a
of the
word.
dark.
Will be of the night is what I wrote. I don't think that's what it is.
The ruler of the night.
The ruler of the night.
The
that's what
master
it
of the
is.
dark.
Master of the dark. Ruler of the night. Master of the dark. I did not write down ruler.
And Morgana makes everything. The ghost of Morgana makes everything shake and the
Oh
wind
yeah,
blow.
and he's like, yeah, but you're dead, and I'm
I'm not.
Ah.
So back at the tidy bowl, the kids
Yes.
are sitting around looking glum.
Yep. Elvira finds him down there, and she tells him about the midnight movie screening.
She's all excited. I'm gonna play the worst movies
the
ever made.
worst
They're bad.
movie ever
You
made.
know, like Bad Shimon.
Shimon.
And they're like, the principal and our parents would kill us.
Yeah,
if we
no,
went.
we
That's
can't do
too
it.
late.
We can't go out that late.
So she lays the best guilt trip ever on
That's
them.
okay. It's only me trying to make a little money.
I'll just hang myself in
In
the oven.
It's not your fault.
Tell them I was more than just a set of great boobs.
I was also an incredible pair of legs. And also tell them I never turned down a friend.
Never turned down a stranger either.
Oh, but and
Remember
also
me?
when they ask you, you tell them 2 simple words. And whatever 2 words,
Any
as long
two,
as they're simple.
And so she fake cries, and they
Right.
all come to her.
Robin's
if
like,
we
well,
stick
they can't get
together,
all of us. They can't expel everybody.
So they'll come to the show, and she's like, "Great, 12
Right.
o'clock sharp."
And Patty overheard that shit.
Of course she did.
And she's over there all smug and shit.
You should know better than to be gossiping at Patty's tidy
I know
bowl.
at Patty's tidy bowl. Patty hears that shit up at the tidy bowl.
And you know she's out to get Elvira.
Patty's lurking.
So then we get the sneak out
Oh,
montage.
the kids escape.
Why did this child take his shoes off to jump the fence?
Baby,
I
I
could
don't
see
know.
taking your shoes off to walk through the
He's
house.
the wizard child from the Dream Warriors. I don't know why he's having a problem with this.
Yeah, I don't know what the point was of going in your socks over the fence.
Yeah, the Dream Warriors. Yeah, that's the one. He's a wizard.
And like all of them fuck it
Harry.
up. All the boys
All
fuck
of
it
them.
up.
They
the
fall out
down
of the
sheet
house.
rope falls down the thing.
Yeah, yep.
But these pink pumps
Yep,
coming
click,
out of this
clack,
shoe
put 'em
box.
on, but then
Girl,
put on them socks
with them little white
with the little
lacy
ruffle
socks
and
with
the
your
little
jeans
with the peg jeans.
Hell,
She's gonna peg
yes.
a boy with them peg jeans.
This was my 12-year-old fantasy
Yes.
of what a cute girl looks like. You go out with that side swept hair.
Yes,
And then
it was
pink
like
pumps.
bigger than ever.
It was so big.
Gem is excitement. Ooh,
And then
Gem.
Randy tears his pants on a
And
nail.
he's got to go back in.
Patty ramps her titties up to sneak into the theater.
Yep.
And Elvira's going to do the flash dance thing. A bucket of gold glitter is going to pour over her at the end of her finale.
That I ripped off of. I mean,
that I borrowed from or was inspired by.
right.
It's a guaranteed standing ovulation.
I mean,
Hey. See, and you can see Patty's like toes and titties peeking out behind this
Right.
curtain.
yes.
So the movie tonight is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes. And Ronnie's out here with them hair and them pumps.
And Robin, he doesn't even recognize Robin. He's like,
Robin, not Ronnie. What did I write Ronnie
oh,
for?
I don't know. Robin, because it's Robin and Randy.
I guess.
So yeah, he doesn't even recognize Robin with her hair. He's like,
no,
Robin?
he's like, oh, hey. And he
Puts
throws
his
that arm
arm.
out. Ooh, I got to stretch. And, oh, God, man, the ending was so bad, the tomato should have thrown rotten people at the screen.
But that's still a funny movie.
I mean, it kind of is.
you gotta love
It's-
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Remember the cartoon?
Yes.
There was the
Yes.
Attack
of the Killer Tomatoes. Yes, I do. So the movie ends and Elvira does her big finale.
Yes, the flash dance scene.
Maniac on the floor. And those black leg warmers she appears
girl
with.
on a Saturday night.
And I did not look up who her stunt person was, but this dance.
So if this is actually probably pretty close to the thing, if this was several stunt people and maybe one of them is a man, then that is dead on the flash dance.
Oh, is that what happened in
because
Flashdance?
There's a couple, I feel there's 2 maybe body doubles, like that's not Jennifer Beals.
Right.
Like, the legs aren't hers. And the breakdancing part in that's a dude.
Okay. I did not know
and
that.
like the flipping, I think, is somebody else. So if this is like several different people, that would be hilarious because then that's Flashdance.
Interesting. And so she does all the flips and she goes to pull the rope.
Oh, and she's
Tarred and feathered. Fucking Patty. And she lets her see her. She's just full on out.
Right?
She ain't hiding. She's up there.
You know what? Patty goes hard. You can't hate
She
her for that.
does.
She's like, it was me.
Yeah.
I want you to know.
Yes, she does.
I did that shit.
And back at her house, where did she get these gallons of gasoline?
Right? That she's bathing in?
Bathing in.
And she calls that dude a bench sniffer. Bench sniffer. I gotta remember that shit.
Like Brad Pitt in her mansion.
Right? He was
Bench
sniffing all the
sniffing.
bitch.
He was up there like, did she see her?
I don't know. We'll find out. I gotta follow
And
my nose.
She's got Bob, Randy, and Robin in the other room listening to her tirade against Patty.
Right. While she's
And they
bathing
had
in
nothing to
gasoline.
do with getting her this gasoline because when she
No.
comes out, Bob's like, what's that perfume you're wearing?
It's like it's
Super unleaded.
Don't smoke. So
Well,
she sees cakes and she she kicks them kids out of the
Yeah,
house.
she's like,
"Ooh,
oh,
yeah,
Bob's got a
isn't it your
booty.
bedtime?" And Robin's like, yeah,
Time to go.
we gotta go because her little buddy's like, no, we could stay up. She's like, no, let's go.
But Bob's shy.
He's on the other side of the couch.
They watch
So-
TV till it goes off air, which used to be a thing.
Right, with the, what is that, national anthem?
Girl. I don't know.
Fireworks. Little waving flag. That's how you knew it was time to go to bed, but you couldn't.
Yep. But so she goes to slide over and finds the recipe book under the couch.
Right. Oh, there it is.
And she's trying to get her mac on, and he's like, I'm starving.
Oh, yeah. She's like, well, he's like, let's go out to eat.
At a truck stop on the interstate
24 hours.
2 a.m. or whatever.
Come on. She's like, no, I'll make something in this little bookie book.
And she takes this book and she opens up and she finds something for casserole.
Right. Oh, it's a casserole.
Casserole. All right.
All right. So she's in there doing spells and shit.
She finds the Edrazeba in the cupboard, which is earthworms. And now these are clearly living, squirming earthworms.
Right. So she looked at that and was like, yeah, sure.
And it says 1.
And she puts more?
And she puts extra.
Come on.
And then she puts that, what looks like maybe blue cheese, but it's moving.
I don't know what that was.
All kinds of
was
disgusting. She even
Joyce's
says it looks like
ambrosia salad.
cock-a-doo-doo. Yes. Joyce's ambrosia
That's
salad,
what
but
that shit
cock-a-doo-doo
was.
flavor.
Right. So she
sprays
Blech.
some easy cheese on there.
Well, it doesn't look very good. So she puts some easy cheese and some potato chips.
Crushes that bag of barbecue chips
With
under
her
her
butt.
booty.
Uh,
Puts a lid on it, brings it out. It's soup.
yes. And she opens up the thing and it's a fucking
monster.
monster.
Yeah.
A little.
It's like a snake, dragon,
Or
lizard
something.
fish.
I
I don't
mean,
know. It has no
lizard
because it has
fish?
no legs when they
No,
put it down
it's
the
got-
garbage
it's in the
disposal.
Thing.
It's
Oh, yeah,
almost got like a
little-
fish tail. So yeah, they get it to the garbage disposal. And who cleaned up this mess? That was a mess.
It was everywhere.
That
Hopefully
was
it burned down.
gross. And he's
Hopefully
like,
it
"Where'd
just
you
burned
learn
off."
how to cook?"
I didn't. It was in
I
this
just follow
book.
the directions.
Right.
So Gong takes the recipe book and bails, and they chase him upstairs to the attic.
And she's like, oh, deja vu.
And he's sitting on this trunk,
Right,
barking
that-
at her and clawing at her to open the trunk.
Leads him to her trunk, and there's a letter addressed to Elvira. You think it's for me?
And it's a letter from her Aunt Morgana about protecting her from the truth,
Right. Her mother, Devana,
was the true mistress of the dark
she protected her and the book from Uncle Vinnie
for 300
and
years.
his fucking baby.
And they have a flashback of Elvira as a baby in full makeup.
Wow.
with her ring amulet
And the
around her
hair.
neck. Oh yeah, the full hair.
All the things. This poor baby, and it's too macabre.
Like I knew I was different, but I didn't think I was that different.
Yeah, whoa.
No way Vinny is getting this now. So her first thought with this book is money spell.
Right.
I'm getting to Vegas.
Let
money
me get that
spell.
moolah.
Moolah spell.
Right?
Elzra Bika Mulashini, Sarah
Oh, shit.
Waka Dumazo.
Oh,
And
shit.
everything starts shaking.
No.
The lantern goes out. And she gasps, "Why,
What
Bob,
a scare.
you know, I may be wrong, but I think that might have been a love spell."
Oh, really? Where are you? I'm over here.
And like when the light goes on the size of this snake, poor Bob, was this your expectation?
I don't know what she thought that was.
That's a big snake, ma'am.
I don't know what she thought that was.
What part of his body did you think was crawling all over you?
I don't know what she thought that was.
So she runs to Bob's arms and the lantern goes out.
Bob. Oh, no, she turns it out.
Yeah, she turns it out.
And they
making eye contact with the camera.
wink, wink.
Booyah.
And, oh, what fun. A dreary rendition of bringing in the sheaves at the
Falwell Morality Club picnic. Yes. But Elvira has snuck in her Coza-roll recipe.
Before that, Chastity thinks that this is the kind of thing that everybody should be proud of her for.
Proud
She's
of
like,
her for?
Yeah.
For
They
what?
were like,
making
oh,
a picnic?
this is great. And she's like, yes, this is the kind of thing that we should all be proud of me for.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Elvira sneaks her
Coza-roll.
her Coza-roll onto the table, and Chastity makes all the kids go to the end of the line.
And now, did you notice there were 3 full bottles of French's mustard and no other condiments on the end of that table?
I did not.
There was hot dogs, but like, where's
I was
the
trying
ketchup
not
and
to look at the
relish?
food.
And
Everything looked disgusting after that Tic Tac pie.
the Tic Tac pie and
3 different
Chastity
kinds of
dipping
Tic Tac.
her finger
Oh
in
my
that
God.
casserole.
I almost knocked shit over because I was so upset.
It was.
I almost
If
threw
you
up.
have ever worked in an office
Mm-hmm.
or participated in a potluck at a family reunion, anything like this where there's a potluck, there is one or more, but there's always one who either cuts a cake and licks the knife and cuts a
Oh
cake.
no,
Or
no,
dips
no.
their finger in something
Not in my
to try
office.
it.
You would be
Oh.
like fucking.
You'd
burned
be a
at the
pariah?
stake. Yeah, you'd be a
Yes.
pariah if you did that in my office. Everybody would be like, no, and then nobody would touch that shit.
Yeah,
It would be ruined.
yeah.
Ruined.
Oh, the rumors
She,
go
like-
around. She fully, licks it
Oh,
off her
what's
finger.
this
Oh,
dish?
yes.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, I just put my hand in my mouth.
And so Elvira's watching all this, and Bob sneaks up on Elvira,
Right.
and he sees the pot and is like, "Oh, no,
What'd you do? And she's like, oh yeah, they're about to get
Oh, she goes, "It's a potluck.
Yeah.
When they open that pot, they'll need all the luck they can get.
Yeah, but there's no monster. It's
It's just delicious.
yeah, and they start
They
getting
love
all
it.
hot.
Ooh, and
Ooh.
where'd they get this apple slice?
I don't know.
I never in my life seen an apple flavored
want
slice.
apple slice.
I would drink an apple
Who
slice.
can find apple slice?
a carbonated apple beverage? I will take it.
apple
Tessa
slice.
about to Google some apple
I need to
slice.
because you know what? I want an apple slice.
So all these old white people start getting horny.
Yes, they're getting all hot for it. They're all
The real estate
Rubbing
agent's
up on each
waggling
other.
his
Oh,
hot
well, of
dog
course.
at Patty remind you of anything? And she has her
Reminding
empty
you
taco
of
shell.
any-
Which why do you
Why
have
do
an
you
empty
have
taco
that?
shell?
remind you of anything,
And
she
grabs his hot
snatches
dog.
it up and bites it.
Chastity over there scraping the bottom of the casserole pot
This
with
is
the
mine.
spoon.
This
Ugh.
is mine.
Oh boy, my horn dog.
I know. And does she like? Is this where she goes over? It's like a lemon
Bow.
party.
Bow, 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 bow,
Oh
bow.
no, not
Bow.
just a slice of fucking
I put
apple.
a spell on
On
you.
you.
And where did the children disappear to during this old person
I would've
orgy? Because
bailed.
they were gone. They were
I
gone.
would have bailed if I would have seen that shit happening.
Uncle Vincent rolls up and finds Elvira in the bushes lurking.
Discontinued in North America in the late 2000s.
Oh.
Introduced in 1984. I wanted
Never
apple
had the
slice.
pleasure.
Never did. Never had the privilege.
So Bob gets swept up into the party to
Yes.
dance by some old lady. Uncle
Oh, yeah.
Vincent rolls up and finds Elvira in the bushes and
Is
wants
this
to
where
know.
she's like, is this seat taken?
Yes.
Or is this
when
sits on
Chastity
his
sits on
face?
his face, some old man's
Yes.
face.
Oh, man.
So Uncle Vinnie wants to know where Elvira learned to make this dish, and she says an old family recipe.
Right. He was like, okay,
I'll give you $500.
$500 for that book. She's like, nah, deal's off. Fuck off.
I'll get you and your little dog too.
Yes. And meanwhile, Patty's over there like assaulting Bob.
Ugh.
And pushes Elvira away, and she gets up and knocks her right the fuck out of her tits.
Yes, she does. She holds on to her dress as she punches her, and her titties stay with her shirt.
Right?
And now the kids are suddenly back.
Right, because they
To
can
laugh
see
at
the shit.
Patty.
Of course.
And did you read the part about the kids were not in the original script? It was all just her adult groundlings friends.
Okay.
But the execs were like, we want it to appeal to both a teen and adult audience.
This almost reminds me of Big Top Pee-wee, where he's like in the town of old people.
Right.
And there's like no kids until they become kids.
Which, ironically, he was supposed to have a cameo in
Right.
this because she did Big Adventure.
Yes, and
but
he was filming
filming Big Top
Pee-wee
Pee-wee while she was filming this.
That's right. That's
so
right.
he didn't get to do it.
That's right.
So the kids are all laughing. So there's a city council meeting.
Right.
The
She's
next
like, they're all
day.
arguing because they're all hungover, and they're like, you assaulted me. And he was like, you would have worn out a mechanical bull.
Yeah, so all the old people are mad at each other about whose fault the sex party was.
Right. And then Vinny shows up, and he's
Silence!
we're totally gonna
Blaming
turn
the
on
wrong
Elvira.
people.
Right. It's
Elvira's
all Elvira.
fault. She's a
Someone
witch.
should ride her out of town on a big fat rail. So she might like that.
Mm-hmm. So he has these old Salem witch trial
The
rules
old laws that are still on the books. and
that
we can-
forbids spell casting, demonology, alchemy, and conjuration.
in other words,
Witchcraft. So Elvira is taken to jail with
Right.
Gonk.
They arrest her and Gonk.
They
That's
arrest her dog.
Her dog, her poor little dog. They put
What
him in
has
jail.
he done?
She's like, hello, Vegas? Yeah, there's a slight crimp in the show. The star's been burned at the stake.
Look, I've seen the People's Court. I'm entitled to one call and a strip search.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, just take your broom and fly to the phone across the street.
Right. Well, I know where I'll stick it.
So Bob comes to visit her, and he tells her, you got her the best lawyer in the county, and he'll be here in the morning. And
By
she's
the
like,
morning, I'll fit in an ashtray.
and so she's like, look, go to the house and get the book.
Right. It's under the floorboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. It's under the floorboard. Oh,
Right.
wait.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Hurry. Right.
And the kids are trying to break her out, and they drill through the roof, but they land in the cell next
to
door.
them because all the locals are coming with the pitchforks.
Like,
and
so
the
not
fucking
even a trial.
torches. No, that's what I'm saying. When we get to the part where
Insane.
they put her on the stake, I'm like,
Yeah.
this fucking cop,
Yes.
this fucking filth, this fucking Porky.
Yes.
All right, whatever, we'll get there. But anyhow, the kids.
So
end
yeah,
up
they all
the
fall
cell.
in, and the cop's like, "Oh, how convenient."
Right. Oh, good. Well, now you'll be here. Thanks, kids.
Yes.
Thanks for trying, guys.
And Gonk's in there whining, and she's like, "What are you worried about?" And he's like, "Oh, you can see a baby pyre being built
Right.
next
She's
to hers."
like, oh, sorry. And she's like, well, he starts freaking out, right? Is this where he does the
So
little-
Bob gets back to the house
Oh,
and
yes.
gets knocked out. The goons are waiting, and so he gets knocked out by the goons after finding the book, and they take the book.
Right.
So then Gonk has his conniption fit,
Yes, and he turns into a mouse with
A punk rock
tiny little
mouse.
mohawk.
a heroin Bob mouse.
Whoa, too many antacids in the 60s.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we incinerate? Elvira. The crowd is so into burning
They are
somebody.
for being so old. Like even Chastity's like, we should do this once a year.
Yes. And
So,
the
yeah.
priest comes to read Elvira her last rites, and he's like grabbing all up on her
gross
titties.
on her milky white titties, and
Oh.
he's like Jerry Falwell. He's like,
yes.
he's that kind of evangelist, whatever.
And that's when the kids fall through the roof.
Yes, that's what it is. They end up getting locked up. Thanks for trying, guys. Gank.
Gank.
Did you get ganked?
Gonk gets into the house,
Right. He becomes a Rottweiler.
chews Bob's ropes off because he's
Right.
tied up, and wakes him up.
Yes.
And he knows it's Gonk somehow. Bob's pretty cool. He's
Yeah,
like
Bob's
not
cool.
really bothered by all this craziness. So the back
Well,
at the
he knew Morgana.
true.
He was like, I admired
Yeah.
her. She was cool. So I figure
Maybe he had a little inside knowledge.
a little inside knowledge.
So yeah, so Elvira's offered a cigarette on the pyre. Do you smoke?
We're about to find out.
Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
She's like, do you have any last words?
Just
one.
Ah! Yeah, she just screams.
By the power vested in me, this fucking...
And so yeah, this pig
the fuck are you?
pronounces sentence on Elvira,
Sentence
death by fire
executioner.
in
What the fuck?
1988.
I'm pretty sure you were still supposed to have a trial, even
Yes!
though you were using like witch trial. Like you didn't even put her under rocks or like
The
dip her in
Salem
the
witch
waters.
trials were a trial.
It
at
was
least.
a trial.
It was
You didn't just
dumb as hell, but it was
well,
a
I
trial.
mean, it was dumb as Like you didn't even dip her in no water.
No, you didn't even test her. Nothing.
No, she weighs more than a duck.
Yeah, I think they skipped some steps.
Yeah, I
here.
think they might have. Like he just gets to do this shit and execute a prisoner. So I don't know what the fuck. But
And
anyhow,
Patty steps up to stop them. You're doing this.
what?
This is wrong.
What you're doing is wrong.
And she's like, "What, Patty?
Flat-chested Patty.
It'll catch faster if you light it in several places."
Duh.
And she do.
And this is when Chastity's like, we should do this every year.
And the Girl Scouts are roasting marshmallows on the pyre.
Yes! The children.
Oh, so Bob runs in. He tells Patty, "You're not a very nice person." And
Yeah.
she clutches her flat chest. So he tries to wave the flames out. Gonk's barking at her, and it makes her remember.
Right. She flashes
carries
back
the power within her.
the ring.
So,
So she-
Gonk's eyes glow red, and she gets her hand free.
Raises it to the sky and lightning.
Makes the
Thunder,
rain pour down.
that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Knock, knock. on
And
my-
like
Yeah.
everyone scrambled, like it was just rain. Weren't you in the middle of something important?
Well, it puts out the fire. Like, I don't know if they saw the ring thing and thought that was
Maybe.
like witchy. But anyway, she's saved.
So Bob unties her and they kiss.
It's the lunar eclipse, and Vincent has the book.
Oh no! And now Vincent looks his age.
Oh, I know. He looks all fucked up.
He's all gross now.
He turns Chastity and that other dude
Into
real estate
swine.
swines. And then he finds Elvira and Bob, and like they try to stop him.
But he got him trapped in a dead
And
end
he throws Gonk in a dumpster.
because he bit his ankle.
Well, you know, he was trying. It's like, don't make me use this.
Yeah, she threatens to use her ring and he laughs. It could not
Right.
protect your mother and it won't save you.
Yep, and he sends a bolt and it goes off the ring.
And yeah, she accidentally
She
she
throws her
goes to
hand
like
and it like
throw
flings
a
the
right
ring
lightning bolt and she throws her ring
directly
onto his finger.
onto his hand. Like, oops. It's like, you looking for me? When she goes chasing her, she comes out like all
She
Rambo
comes out of this like a gun store dressed like a Rambo.
with a grenade launcher and it does
Yes!
fuck all. It does nothing. It
to
just
him.
looks cool, I guess.
And he cackles after her. She runs to the cemetery and
Mm-hmm.
she trips and falls and breaks her heel on her shoe.
Right. And he corners her and she kicks her heel up and like
She throws her heel at him and it
Yes.
sticks right in his forehead.
fucking single white females right in his fucking forehead.
And
Which
he's-
came first?
Oh, I don't know. I think this.
I think it is.
And he's wildly flinging lightning bolt
no.
spells now.
And she's trying to get out, but then the titties bust open the gate.
Yes, them titties are strong. In Haunted Hills, they do the pendulum axe.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And her titties, she's tied with a
she
rope over her
stops it.
titties, and she pulls her titties up, and it cuts the rope, and she's
perfect.
able to escape the pendulum axe. Yes.
Perfect titties.
So yeah, so she gets out, she gets home, and Jeff
Conaway
Conaway's in there trying to still molest her in the middle of all this.
rapist.
And again with the leeches.
I know. Oh my god. I have that written down and said it should be big. I don't think it is.
This is why we thought leeches was going to be a bigger deal.
I know, because it showed up a lot. Puppet Master. This.
Stand by me.
Stand by me. Leeches were a thing.
Yes. So he plunges through the back door.
Yes.
And she goes hiding in the house, and Vincent's arm plunges through the wall.
Yes, and like bangs her head up against the wall, and that axe comes down and
Yes, there's
severs
an axe
his
on the
hand
wall that chops
with the
his
ring
arm
on it.
off. Yes.
And it
the
crawls after
the
her.
hands crawling after her.
It's so cool.
And so he breathes fire at all the curtains and
he's like setting all
lights
the
everything
shit.
on fire, and the
Yes.
hands coming at her.
He's gonna get her, and she like stabs it with a knitting needle.
But he steps on a board and smacks himself in the
Yes.
nuts and drops the book. So she gets her ring, she blocks his spell, and he goes up into a blue flame and
all
shoots
Bev
out
Morda
into the
style.
night. He shot
Bev
himself,
Morda's out of there,
basically.
Yeah. And then
But the whole house is on fire.
Right. She's trying to get to the book, but the power is within her.
Yes.
She don't need it. So off she goes.
So the next morning, she sat on the porch with Bob, who's in a neck brace.
Right. He wants to know about the insurance. It's just like they don't cover acts of demons.
Why would you even say that? Just say it was a fire.
Yeah, there was a fire in my fucking house. Like, I don't know. It was arson.
And Gonk was also in a little neck brace.
Mm-hmm.
And now the ring doesn't do anything except for look cheap.
Right. She can't get it to anything but look cheap. And now...
Here come the townspeople.
Oh, shit. And they only came to apologize.
Yeah, she thinks that's the lynch mob.
Right, but they are sorry about how they treated her.
And like they seem like they're there to help her clean up her house, but that never happens.
Don't.
Yeah.
But that dad's like, you touched a part of my son that no one's ever touched. She's like, I wish. Little wizard boy.
And the mechanic comes back with her car all fixed.
It's all done. And Patty arrives.
She gets shoved up to the front to say she's sorry for setting her on fire.
Sorry for setting you on fire and everything. Like,
And
no
Bob's
hard
like,
feelings.
Don't worry, she's bigger than that.
Way bigger.
So
Now the
Vinnie
lawyer
dead.
runs up.
Yep, she's got to look at these papers because now she's the sole heir to all that money.
And now
Las Vegas.
And we see her Vegas show
Showgirl segment.
in this gorgeous outfit with these demon boy dancers.
But oh no, that
if
Elvira
you're looking
rat.
for trouble, here I am. And if you want to see double, here I am. I don't do what the good girls do. Bad dreams really do come true. And so then this rap break, which I did not write down. I just have I'm rough, I'm tough, I'm woman enough.
Yeah, I'm woman enough. Yeah, it's
Because what it's really about is
It's
this
the tassel
spider
trick.
tassel titty
Yes.
twirl of all of our fantasies.
left one, right one, both them.
That's
That
the
way,
skills
this way,
that pay
ba,
the
ba, ba.
bills,
Oh,
baby.
Shit, we could not. It's harder than it looks.
It's hard.
It's harder than it looks.
And she gets her roses. She waves. Unpleasant
Pleasant
dreams.
dreams.
So I will watch this movie anytime it's
Anytime.
on.
Anytime that Elvira's doing anything, I'm like, yep.
It doomed me to love bad jokes and B movies and titties.
Well,
And Elvira.
obviously. And Elvira, I'm pretty sure that was her at the, what's that shit they do at not Scary Farm?
Oh, I saw her at Not Scary Farm Live. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. When I was 15, I went to
Yeah.
Not Scary Farm and she
That's
did
funny,
that
'cause
show.
I was 15 or 16 when I saw that.
I would
but it
have
was,
went in,
like
I
2
think,
years later.
95. I think
Yeah,
it was
it was
95.
a couple years later that I went and it was her.
That's funny.
And I stood there for fucking hours so I could see Elvira.
Oh, yeah.
I waited because I hated it there. It wasn't my scene.
No,
A
no,
haunted
no. I
house
didn't
is not
really
my
want to.
fucking
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's just
I don't
not
really
my
dig
fucking
haunted
thing.
houses.
If that's your thing, that's cool. It's just not my fucking thing. Don't fucking touch
But yeah,
me.
I just wanted to see
Don't
Elvira.
run up on me.
Don't
I
be
just
all
wanna
up in
see
my
Elvira.
face.
Don't run up on me. That's period.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're Elvira.
Well, then, yeah, that's fine. But I figured
But not
she
if
wouldn't.
you're some dude in a werewolf costume with them
No,
spark
them little
pads on your
knee pa-
knees.
Oh, fuck you.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
So we have a less than traditional yearbook signing this week, which I have chosen to pull from our Instagram comments because it made me laugh. So if you guys don't follow us on Instagram, you may have missed that an account called Halloween Town makes us a super cool graphic every week where this person listens to our show and makes a thing
Based
that's like
on
an
that.
advertisement based on our show. Just from what they got out of the episode, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But this is a comment they left on one of our So I Married an Axe Murderer photos. So it starts with, love the beat poetry. Big fan of the harmonized singing when you two get down. And I said, that's
What?
always weird, but nice to hear. And he said, it happens a lot when you talk, and it's truly astounding. I listen intently, waiting, and it occurs amazingly often. Then you burst out into songs, and it seems like life can be a musical. It rips me apart because how can I hate musicals if I want to hear you sing more? And I said, you're not the first person to say so it must be true. And that's funny because she loves musicals, and I mostly hate them.
Yep.
And he said, you're tearing me apart. To quote James Dean, but I do love it all, and you know you're one of mine, and it's hypnotic. That's how you're growing the doomer cult. Soon we'll be gathering in an abandoned warehouse wearing gowns, but we'll have to all agree on a unifying color. But since it's 2023, no one will agree. So we'll agree on a rainbow type dealio, and it's going to be potluck, but everyone brings a casserole, and that's what we'll all agree on. Casseroles, which... Casseroles. And so I said the casserole gang, but Tessa said, what's it called? The Cool Ranch cult?
Our Jonestown is the Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Meet us down at the Cool Ranch.
So if you want to join our cult, call 702-720-3666 or 702-720-DOOM.
And if you join the Patreon, you can join us on the Cool Ranch.
Hell yeah. Patreon.com/Doom Generation. Go to Instagram, follow us at Doom Generation Pod. Go to that bio and click that link tree. We got merch, y'all.
Oh, we do TikToks now.
We have so many followers on TikTok now that we can do a live stream, which we did tonight.
It earlier today.
So you might find us. We got our studio set up now.
Yep.
You may find some videos coming across your timeline. And if you join Patreon, you are more likely to get some videos than a free user.
You might like it. I don't know.
So patreon.com/Doom Generation.
Do it. Get there.
And we'll see you next week.
Talk to you next time.
Later, Doomers.